Hi, I'm Eileen.
Hi, I'm Ermi.
Hello, I'm Cheryl.
Welcome to the other realm. That was okay. Okay, today we are looking at spiritual memes, and Cheryl has prepared a bunch.
So it started with me googling spiritual memes. So then I had to Google some really rather inappropriate things lah. And I felt a little bit like my soul was going to get condemned. Yeah, then like that lor. Then I found a whole bunch. I laughed my ass off, and I have now collected the choice few for us to look through.
It says when Google Home speaker wakes you up at 3:33 a.m. with sorry, I don't understand. For people who don't know, 333 is an angel number which we were doing a video on. You can check it out here.
So angel numbers basically are numbers with significance, and they actually carry the energy of the angels. So the numbers are a way of communicating with you and receiving messages from the angels. So for example, 333 is often like a yes, like whatever you're doing is right answer.
So it's not like a yes, you are sleeping.
No.
I tell you something, I used to be very geeky. I used to set my alarm at 1111. Like 11 a.m. and 11 minutes, right? Then when I wake up, I'm like, oh, hello, angels, good morning.
But 1111 is like a new beginnings, like so it's actually a good
It's appropriate.
It's appropriate. It's just that in our modern society, 11 a.m. is a little bit late to be waking up.
When you suck at your job. So this newspaper say that Arizona psychic hit by car says he never saw it coming. I'm like, this is real newspapers, right?
Yeah.
In defense of the psychic, okay, not all psychics have the same abilities. So to be able to predict being hit by a car, you actually need strong divination abilities.
It's just like musicians, right? Like not all musicians are equally talented, although you can
yes.
work up hard to it. You know why? Because people think psychic not human. Like
Yeah.
all the time I know what's going to happen and what's going on. How to live a
Yes.
life like that? Next. I did it! I'm enlightened! And then Batman is like,
There is no I. Keep meditating.
eh.
But this is actually very funny because this actually has its roots in like Buddhism. And there is no I is basically saying that if you want to be enlightened, you actually have to lose your self or your concept of self. Yeah.
Okay, when they think they activated their crown chakra, but it was their clown chakra. This one I can relate. I have a clown chakra. Blah, blah. By the way, crown chakra is here.
You're at the top of the head here.
And clown chakra is here.
Empath, sorry if I'm being bitchy. It's the full moon. And then the moon replies, fuck you, Stephanie, don't involve me into your psychosis. I love this because as people who sort of like understand the moon seasons and the retrogrades, we are like, what's happening? Oh, I'm retrograding, it's the retrograde. Then I think about it, right? My whole life, right, is a retrograde in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are blaming anything from the moon to the Mercury retrograde. If I'm in a bad mood, it's not me, it's
Yeah.
like
The universe.
the sun, the moon, or whatever.
It's
Take
Cheryl.
responsibility, people.
Okay, this one, another empath one. When you're an empath and everyone feels compelled to tell you their whole life story.
This is so true!
And then this lady is like, nah. When I was like in school, I was like, why is everyone calling me on my home phone and telling me how they feel? I don't know if I'm an empath or am I a pushover, which is two different things.
If you're an empath, your energy will feel comforting for people. So people will feel more relaxed when they are with you and then feel like they can trust you and then they will tell you the story. And empaths find it very hard to draw boundaries sometimes because you can also feel like when a person is upset with you, you can resonate with all the emotions.
You know what's the longest I've ever had like phone conversations and then people telling me their story? Guess.
5 hours.
Then
The whole day.
You're
I will take breaks to eat and shower. So basically, at that point, I don't think I'm an empath. I think I'm just a prostitute.
no, you're not even that because you're not charging for it.
What enlightened people think they look like and how everyone else actually sees them.
But it is true because self-proclaimed enlightenment does sometimes reeks of this kind of anti-social
Oh.
craziness, you know, because you think like you can actually say all these things and do all these things because you're in a totally different like stratosphere from everybody else.
Universe, I have a plan for you. And then me holding on to spirit guides like I do feel this way sometimes when like I have an idea and then I want to do it and then you just like, okay, you know, let's go. And then I'm like, I got so many things.
This only happens if you totally give in responsibility to the universe. But in reality, the universe just has sort of like a game plan like for you. And we're very much in control of like where we want to go. It's just like, for example, my parents expect me to go to like school all the way to university. But within that construct, I actually have control about how well I do and which schools I go to.
Yeah, so I guess you have a choice in all things,
Yeah.
right? Even if the universe has a plan, you can get off the roller coaster. What people think a spiritual awakening is like versus what is actually like.
This is true, I think, for some people. The difference is actually resource and research. You actually need to do a lot of research, learning from other people, especially people who are more experienced than you. You want to actually have people share experiences with you, and then you want to go within and process it.
I have a question. Can you have a spiritual awakening without realizing it?
Very difficult because
Isn't spiritual awakening a realization?
yeah, because it's like a awakening. Yeah, it's like waking up. You're asleep or you're awake. Usually, you have an expansion of perspective. A lot of spiritual awakening is really just breaking free from your old mindset, especially of fear.
Okay, so this one, at first I was like, life is meaningless. But now I'm like, life is meaningless.
In early days of like spiritual like journey, I mean, this was like maybe 10, 11 years ago, I realized that everybody was talking about how you have to stay positive, that all you need is a positive mindset, you know, and there was something that really irked me about that because I know I have emotions. So when I'm upset, I'm upset. When like I'm sad, I'm sad. If it sounds like they're asking us to just sweep it under the carpet or like hide it in the cupboard and then you end up with a whole cupboard of skeletons and closet and then that's it.
Yeah.
And actually they have no purpose to their life because they're so focused on being positive, they forgot that they have to find their sole purpose and like live like that. You know?
So we should do a series of like, okay, life is meaningless. I am angry. I am sad. I am feeling down today.
This must be the clown chakra talking.
Okay, next, me doing shadow work. And this lady is like choking her
Choking
own
shadow.
shadow.
Oh my god. No. So wrong. You have to be gentle with your shadow.
Oh, not like that, but maybe like that. Like pat my own shadow.
Your shadow is sort of like part of you, right? If you're cutting a carrot and your right hand that's holding a knife cuts your left hand, are you gonna like cut your right hand back?
Yes. No, I'm not.
Alright.
But I guess this is how people perceive their shadow. It's
Yeah.
like the bad thing.
But the shadow is not a bad thing.
When you ask the universe for some help, but the universe knows you gotta go through some shit to evolve. So your hand is like,
Help me! And then the universe. I think everybody goes through highs and lows. How low you go depend on how much research and foundational work and resource that you have developed. So maybe the universe has already sent you like 10,000 messages you should learn to swim, and you didn't. So it gets to a point where by now you're in trouble, and then the universe says, this is why I told you to learn to swim.
I actually feel really inspired because the next time Cheryl says I need some help, I'm just gonna high five her. You mean nothing is offensive unless I choose to take it that way? Jang, 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 jang.
I think it depends on whether it's on a personal level or if it impacts like other people. If somebody comes up to me and says, oh, you're ugly or you're fat or something like that, then I wouldn't be offended because this person's opinion doesn't really matter like much to me. But however, if I'm at work and I get sexually harassed, it actually impacts potentially other sort of like women, because not everybody may be in a position to sort of like stand up to it. This might not be the case with some people who perhaps they are financially sort of like burdened and they really need the job, then they might be forced to do it. So somebody has to speak up like for them.
When filing up a job application, I saw they had a section for previous life experience. So I wrote down that I was a pharaoh in 2300 BC.
Yeah, like you wiped out a village before or something like that, right?
Yes, or I maybe murdered people before.
It's interesting because past life investigation is becoming more and more like popular. But I always tell them I do not do past life tourism because in my very early days of my practice, I did a past life before. So this person was very specific. They wanted to know what is the life before this. She basically spent money for an hour, and during that whole hour, all I saw was an old man fishing. That was her most recent past life, which is what she asked me to do. I felt it was total waste of her money.
It's okay, when she's filling out a job application, she can say fisherman.
If you want me to look at your past life, it must be because you have an issue that you want to resolve, and then we can work with that issue and look at the past lives that are relevant to them.
You got the whole plane to yourself, the large group going to the psychic convention are all cancelled at the last moment. So the plane is going to crash, but this guy is not getting it. Next, seeker, waiting for enlightenment, just bones. Like not many people actually gain enlightenment.
Yeah, and also you can't wait for enlightenment. Enlightenment is to get to enlightenment is a process of evolution.
Yeah.
So you have actually to be proactive. It actually means you go on like a deep sort of a journey of understanding like yourself and exploring your consciousness and everything. But waiting for like enlightenment is a definite dead end.
I wasn't specific enough in my manifesting today. So this person asked for 100 grand and he got a piece of chocolate that is called 100 grand.
How you phrase your questions and set your intention is extremely important.
Me almost about to explain something spiritually advanced. Then the face changed. Then remembering that they won't care or understand. Do you feel like that sometimes?
This actually depends on the person. First of all, if you are going to explain something spiritually advanced in a way that nobody understands, then of course people won't care because they won't understand.
Yeah.
It's down to communication skills. It's also a test of how well you understand the topic.
Yeah, it's also like someone who's trying to look smart, then they throw a bunch of big words at you,
Yeah.
thinking that, I'm so smart, I use big vocabulary.
Actually, everything that is spiritual is so related to our lives that we can actually explain it in a way that is definitely understandable.
Me, I am in a healthy place and making much better choices. My tarot cards, the fuck you are.
Sometimes when I read cards for like people, they are telling me one situation and then the cards is reflecting a total different situation. And at the end of it, the client actually would admit that, okay, yeah, the cards are actually real,
Correct.
are actually correct. Yeah.
When you ingest too much fluoride, the fluoride is not the correct fluoride. It's not the crystal fluoride.
It's the fluoride in your toothpaste.
How it feels trying to blend into society after waking up to your true multi-dimensional self, which is Big Bird. Next, waking up between 2 and 4 a.m. means a higher power wanted to talk to you and it's your cat. Feed me. I can relate.
Oh,
Me
this
too.
is so funny.
Do you get that?
Yes.
What happens?
Well, my cat, who's called Moxie, she's a princess. She'll climb on me, she'll start running all over me, and then she'll bite me.
And she wants food.
No, she wants to play, she wants food, she wants attention, she just wants to be an asshole.
That is your higher power trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
So if you know any fun and interesting memes that we haven't covered, send it to us so that we can cover them and look at them.
And share them with everybody.
Yeah, and that's it for our video. See you next time.
See you, bye. The
Stop it, I'm
seductive,
feeling very seduced right now.
I bet.
the slutty, seductive eating.